In a small coastal town lived a young man named Aryan. Aryan had always dreamed of becoming a renowned architect and building structures that would change the world. His passion for design was evident from an early age, but his journey was far from easy. Aryan's biggest challenge wasn't his lack of skills or ambition, it was the constant setbacks he faced in life. From a young age, he had to fight against the harsh realities of poverty. His family struggled to make ends meet, and the resources he needed to pursue his dreams were always out of reach. Despite his talent and passion, Aryan felt like the odds were stacked against him. Every time he thought he was making progress, life threw him another curveball. His college application was rejected, his savings were wiped out by an unexpected family emergency, and even the people around him, friends and mentors, doubted his abilities. As he tried to move forward, his past failures seemed to haunt him. He often questioned whether his dreams were even realistic. Each time Aryan faced a setback, his motivation dwindled. He found it difficult to keep moving forward when the obstacles in his way seemed so insurmountable. How do I keep going when everything keeps falling apart? He wondered. His passion was still there, but the fire seemed to be fading as the weight of his challenges grew heavier. One cold evening, Aryan was walking along the beach, reflecting on his struggles, when he met an elderly man named Ravi. Ravi was a retired architect who had once been known for designing some of the most beautiful and innovative buildings in the country. He had a reputation for overcoming every obstacle in his career and had inspired many young architects to follow in his footsteps. Aryan, desperate for advice, approached him and shared his frustrations. "Ravi, I've tried everything, but no matter how hard I work, nothing seems to go my way. I feel like I'm destined to fail, and I'm losing my motivation. What should I do?" he asked, his voice heavy with disappointment. Ravi looked at Aryan thoughtfully, his eyes kind, yet filled with wisdom. "Aryan, I've walked that same path. I've faced more rejections, failures, and obstacles than you could imagine. But let me tell you something. The key to staying motivated is not about avoiding failure. It's about how you respond to it. Let me tell you a story." Ravi began his story. "Years ago, I was just like you, a young man with dreams but with little to show for them. When I started my career, I had no resources. I didn't have the best connections or the wealth to fund my projects. In fact, I faced constant rejection. My first big project was a complete failure. The building I designed collapsed before it was even finished. People laughed at me, and I lost everything, my reputation, my savings, and my self-confidence. Everyone around me said that I should quit and find a more stable career, but I couldn't. My passion for architecture was too strong. I decided to pick myself up, no matter how painful it was, and try again." He continued, "I started small. I worked on smaller projects, even when no one believed in me. It wasn't easy. There were nights I couldn't sleep, worrying if I was making the right choice. But I kept going, one step at a time. Each failure taught me something new. Eventually, after years of persistence, I began to create buildings that people loved. I designed a museum that became famous, and my career took off from there. But none of that would have happened if I hadn't stayed motivated after the failure." Aryan listened intently, his mind racing. As Ravi's story unfolded, Aryan realized that success wasn't about avoiding failure. It was about how you approached it. "So, you're saying that failure isn't the end, but the beginning?" Aryan asked. Ravi nodded, his eyes filled with understanding. "Exactly. Failure is a part of the process, not the end of the road. It's easy to give up when things don't go as planned, but true success comes from how you respond to setbacks. You must remain motivated, no matter how many times you fall. It's about getting back up each time and continuing to move forward, even when it feels like you're starting from scratch. The key to success isn't talent alone. It's persistence, resilience, and the will to keep going when others would stop." Aryan's heart began to shift. The weight of his past failures no longer seemed as heavy. He realized that he had been focusing too much on the setbacks rather than the lessons they brought. "I've been looking at failure all wrong," he thought. I need to embrace it, learn from it, and keep pushing forward. With a renewed sense of determination, Aryan decided to take action. He realized that motivation wasn't something that would magically appear, it was something he had to cultivate every day. Aryan began setting small, achievable goals each day, focusing on building consistent habits. He woke up earlier, organized his day, and made time to study architecture, even when he felt tired or discouraged. Every day, he reminded himself of his dream and the reason he started in the first place. Slowly but surely, Aryan began to notice changes. He started completing small projects that brought him confidence and validation. The more consistent his efforts became, the more motivated he felt. He stopped comparing himself to others and started measuring his progress by the goals he had set for himself. His confidence grew, and with it, his ability to take on bigger projects. The failures that once held him back became stepping stones, and Aryan started to feel like he was finally on the right path. Months passed, and Aryan's work began to catch the attention of others. He was no longer the young man unsure of his abilities. He was becoming an architect others respected. His journey was far from over, but he had learned the most important lesson. Success is built on perseverance and never letting anything hold you back. Years later, Aryan became a renowned architect, known not just for his designs, but for his story of resilience. He often spoke to young, aspiring architects, sharing his journey and the lessons he had learned along the way. He would always say, "The path to success is never smooth. You will face challenges, failures, and doubts, but the key is to never let anything hold you back. Stay motivated, keep pushing forward, and success will come." And when asked about the secret to his success, Aryan would smile and ask, "So, what about you? Are you ready to stay motivated and never let anything hold you back? Are you willing to push through the hard times and turn your dreams into reality?"